from Orlando, Florida. It's Week 11 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Orlando Orbits taking on the New England Patriots.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle with the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And I bet right now just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
Two touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage. And as a quarterback, you're always pleased when you can use all the weapons at your disposal. Here he spots his fullback underneath, gets the completion right there for a nice pickup.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And that's caught. It's Bryan Edwards. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 32-yard line. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. Because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Even with the good move he showed, he'll be brought down short of the 15. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might well go and run it anyway because that's your strength.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Sanders' kick is good. And the opening drive of the game yields 3. Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter.
So here come the Patriots now to take over on offense. They're led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Mac Jones. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Throwing Jones. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Jones throw into the hands of Henry here. And he's got this down to the 35.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And Jones will hit the deck here, and he is able to pick up the 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 2nd and 7, Jones. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. 2nd down and goal. Jones rolling to his left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Mac Jones taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Patriots have taken the lead. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. And this is no good. He missed it. Not a good start here in the kicking department as this remains a 6-3 score. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Behind the chain, 2nd and 13. From the gun, Kendrick. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Kendrick. They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield, and he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
And he's got room. He's at the 30, 10, and touchdown. Clyde Edwards-Helaire with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Orbits have regained the lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will make this a 4-point game. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit. And they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off. It should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning. And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Jones. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. They'll run the screen with Mack. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Now here's a throw that's complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They'll look to throw again. And that is incomplete.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
To throw again on second down. Jones. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He completes this one to Mack. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. On fourth down, Jones. Hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Off play action, Kendrick. Finding some room in midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now an open man. That's the tight end, Gesicki. It's complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. And we've hit the 2 minutes going on here around. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the Patriots are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
To throw on 2nd and 10. Jones. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jones into the hands of his running back, Marlon Mack. Touchdown! Marlon Mack, his 11th touchdown on the year. And the Patriots have retaken the lead. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead. And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
They go back to the air here after the INT. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Looking to throw. Kendrick. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Off the option, it's Edwards-Helaire. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. On 1st and 10, Kendrick. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. It's complete to Fuller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're saying.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive, as this is 3rd and 10. Back to throw again. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 36. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. Sanders' kick is good. And they take the lead out in front at 13-12. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we'll send you across town to our studios here in Orlando and check in with the coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend. So lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And it's the Eagles who are out in front. LaVisca.
We now proceed to the start of the 2nd half. The Patriots trailing here, but they will have the football first as the 3rd quarter is underway. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. The Patriots taking over to start quarter number 3. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the 2nd half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers a little bit more to the perimeter, perhaps.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. Running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. Shreds the tackle. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And he'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
And I like where this offense is going. I like what they're thinking, because they want to spread the wealth and move the ball around. And they decide to get the fullback involved in these pass patterns as well. Normally, 2-yard hitch or a little flare out of the backfield.
Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively, because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing. Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line, because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
He'll look underneath here for Edwards-Helaire. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That'll bring up fourth down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. The kick by Sanders is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here comes Mac Jones and the rest of the Patriot offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Here's Mack to get it again on second down. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line. They'll hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits. Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
They'll run on first down. Alexander. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. Second down and 7. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Throw incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts. This time on third down.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on fourth down? Open target here, Darius Slayton. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Both sides were holding their breath there on that fourth down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
52 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
That was good, tough running right up the middle, and if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Here's a give to Madison running right. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, here's a give to Mack. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. The quick slant caught. And the Patriots are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They'll try to run with Madison. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Alexander Madison, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots have taken the lead here in the final seconds of the 3rd quarter. A strong run there, boy, when he gets it, especially around the goal line, like a bull in a china shop.
And none of us ever want to confront that bull in any china shop, do we? Any more than we want to confront him. Got behind his pads, ran with power, and got into the end zone.
What an asset around the goal line, a guy like that.
It's almost like a safety blanket, isn't it? When all else fails, hand it to this big back and let him power his way forward.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Kendrick. Here's Fuller with a catch. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Throwing on 1st down. Kendrick will swing this one out to Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete on the deep ball. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
On 3rd down, Kendrick. That's who is running back, Edwards-Helaire. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. And a throw right sideline is complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A big play there for the Patriots. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones escaping the pressure right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. On 2nd and 10, Jones going right side. He finds Slayton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. On the give, this is Mack. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. And now they're in the hurry up. They'll go again here with Mack. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 70 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right. But the problem for them is still within a possession. So they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. He's going to let this go. Back in the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Patriots come up empty on 4th down. And as a result, possession switches hands. So that's a decision that could loom pretty large here. They go for it on 4th down, but come up empty.
But I actually like the call, and the reason? It shows me a head coach has faith in his team overall. First on the offensive side, thinking they can pick it up, but also knowing that he has faith in his defense that if they don't, they'll go out there and stop him. I like the confidence he showed.
Back to throw. Pass complete to Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. Now he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. So here's a 1st and 10. Back to throw. He's got Fuller. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them in bounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now it looks like we've got a Patriot down, slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. He'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Fuller. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. Now they get the timeout. It leads you to wonder, will they kick it here or risk running another play and possibly not getting down in time? We'll see. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. First down, Mack, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And no return here to begin the overtime session. That'll be a touchback. Orlando takes back over on offense. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Back to throw. Kendrick. He's letting this one go for Fuller. He's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big connection on that one. 33 yards.
And how about that? So many times the big play is what does it in overtime. They got one there, move the ball past midfield, and now you know they're on the move, looking to score the game-winning touchdown, because a field goal won't finish the game.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it. On Edwards-Helaire, I don't think he got there. He did not. They'll stop him short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. Sanders' kick is good, and that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up, because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. He's got Henry. 1st down and much more for Henry. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
But he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big play there for the Patriots.
And now at this point in overtime, they know that they are in field goal range, and 3 points is a must in order to keep this game going. But after that big play, they've got to be thinking bigger. They've got to be thinking, get in the end zone, get 6, and let's get out of here.
Now Jones. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. 7 yards, the pickup there. Jones. Flushed out right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. They wanted to avoid the dreaded 4th down and having to get a conversion or it being the final play. They picked it up, though, on 3rd.
I love how you described that because we've been in those situations and seen it. If you get to 4th down, especially in overtime, things get a little shakier, don't they? The hands get shaky, right? The throw, if you're going to throw the ball, being able to run it, all of that coming down to one big play. Very nice of them and nice for them to pick it up on 3rd. In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Jones. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Jalen Phillips make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And this will be caught. Touchdown. They needed overtime to get it done, but put this one in the win column. A great game partner, spectacular finish. They needed at least a field goal to keep the game alive. They do one better. They get it in the end zone and end it.
And I don't know about you, but I'm worn out. That type of a game takes it all out of us as well, not just the guys on the field. What a tremendous finish, and as you noted, Were they going to go and try and get 3 and keep the game going? And that wasn't good enough for them. They got the touchdown, and that's why we're able to say goodbye.
So for the Patriots, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Orlando, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. So that'll do it for...